Hey, yo! Here we go again. No matter the mission or opposition that we in, no matter the situation or places we've been, we gotta make it through thick and slim.
Episode 4. 4 doors for more whores.
Woo!
Woo! You can't be first, but you can be next.
It's the Four Horsemen.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hanging in.
Had a busy weekend, man.
Yeah.
Putting the house up, on the market at the end of the month, and just the list of things that keep on keeping on.
Dude, you need to hurry up. Crawfish is in full effect now.
Dude, I can't wait.
You need to hurry.
I can't wait. We had just that conversation we had the other day about just like good eating and what we can do and the possibilities of the smoker and then what is it even called, a crawfish or seafood boiler?
Yeah, a boiler. Yeah, the 90 quart crawfish boiler. Ooh, that thing looks nasty, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And what 90 quart will get you what?
50 2 sacks.
And it's like 50 pounds in 30 minutes type of thing.
Yeah.
But I want it now.
Dude, that's impressive, dude. The numbers.
Dude, it's gonna be so much fun.
I had crawfish with Samantha at HEB here in Georgetown last week. It was really good. It was honestly the best crawfish that I've had in several years, and I've had some really good places.
Damn.
But HEB, I think they outdid everybody last week for sure.
Was it like an employee thing?
Yeah. Well, okay. The employees made it, of course. They had like that exact model, that 90 quart they use, and then the seafood guys went out there and did the thing.
Nice.
It was good, dude. I did we did like 3 pounds of crawfish and then 1 or 2 pounds of peeled shrimp. Oh god, it was so good. It was so good.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I think we've talked about this several times before, but like just here I can't I mean, I do it, but I can't trust it.
Yeah.
Freshness
is a problem.
Yeah, when you're landlocked, you're depending on places to fly stuff in on the daily, and that's not everywhere. Yeah. But there's like Pelicans, Papados. There's a place called the Crack and Crab. There's different places you can eat stuff like that here, but like I said, just can't trust it. Can't do it. Yeah, can't wait, man. Can't wait. I wanna jump into that smoker game that you got going.
I did pork belly today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I sure did.
How much? How long?
8 pounds. Between 4 and 5 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, solid.
Nice.
Solid.
Pork belly and pork butt.
It was like burn ends,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was pretty solid.
Little crispiness.
Yeah. I did it at 3.5, 4 hours at 225, and then about an hour and a half at around 275 in foil.
Okay.
Render the fat down a little bit more.
What are you smoking it in?
A Master Build Electric.
Any woods or pellets?
Oh yeah. Are you talking about woods?
Yeah.
I did it in hickory today.
Okay.
I pretty much go between mesquite, hickory, or applewood.
Oh yeah.
Those are my go-tos.
I mean, is there much else to do? Like, I mean, that sounds pretty covered, right?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it covered. Yeah, exactly. That locks them all.
Yeah, those are the standards, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have each one. I just kind of switch it out depending on what it is.
Yeah, and you and I have been talking about me doing some hot sauce, getting into the hot sauce game a little bit. So I'm excited about that. Growing my own stuff, making my own chiles, making my own Tex-Mex style. I mean, but just like a podcast, it's a drop in the bucket. You got so much out there, and to the people that listen to our podcast, thanks for listening. I know you have a multitude of choices of people that you could tune into weekly, and for whatever reason you tune into us, and we appreciate it.
Wow, listen to you, Ryan. You've matured this week.
Have I? Yeah. I was all pissy yesterday or last week, all in my feelings.
Yeah.
People suck. Six. And now I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep it on the positive.
You must have seen the numbers. The numbers must have jumped up, and Ryan, like, you know what? This is worth it.
No, it's no.
Okay.
The numbers aren't much different, but they're better. I guess I don't know. Whatever.
Good.
But I'm just saying, the people that do continually support, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, other than that,
this is our therapy session.
It is 100% is. And now that we're doing it weekly, I'm having better weeks.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
it does make it a little more difficult to keep on topic and figure out like what we're talking about, whereas before, 2-3 weeks would go by and we have, there's so much shit to talk about.
Yeah, we got 2 hours of shit we can sit here and mumble on about.
Right. But but that's good. It keeps it fresh. It keeps us able to keep on current events. Like, all the current things.
I mean, I don't really stay in touch with what's going on in the world except for what's going on in this household and I don't give a fuck about all that other shit. Hey, whatever.
What? But what about? No, I don't know. I listen to like maybe 5 or 6 podcasts on the regular, and
which
it goes, the Kevin Nash. Click this.
That's mine. Yep.
You turned me on to that one.
Yep, love that one. That's my favorite.
This is important. The guys
Segura?
from the guy
Workaholics.
Yeah, the Workaholics guys.
Okay. Yeah.
One called The Boogie Monster, which is a comedian named Kyle Kinane and another comedian named Dave Stone. Mm-hmm. And then there's No Accounting for Taste, which is another Kyle Kinane and Shane Torres. Two comedians, and they basically will pick a topic like new metal, and their whole thing is like we should embrace things that people like instead of just shitting on them. So they'll take a topic and they'll try to defend it, and then they'll give their own experiences, and then they have a call-in line where people can call in and give their opinions on whatever the topic is. And other than that, Last Podcast on the Left is pretty standard for me. And then there's another one called Abe Lincoln's Top Hat, and it's from the same guys that are on Last Podcast, and they talk about political stuff, the environment. So that's how I stay in my circle, like to get my information. I got a little bit of comedy, a little bit of wrestling, but the hard thing is, I'll hear something cool and be like, oh, we should do that. But then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Like a week later, come up with this thing. Hey, guess what kind of luggage I got? Yeah. So, but that's what I do. That's my norm. That's my normal.
I started to listen to this past weekend, Theo Von.
That dude is funny.
That dude is something else.
He's so
he's so just like out there.
Yeah, the shit he says. He's like, like I didn't have a sweater. I was more 2 tank tops in the winter. Like,
yeah.
Like some of the shit he says. Like,
yeah, he just all of a sudden he's talking about people. Today it was talking about like the advancement of people and how he feels like certain people are on a higher plane. And then he goes, yeah, I mean, it almost feels like at times that I'm like about to meet the Lizard King. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Jim Morrison?
Yeah, what the fuck?
He rocks the mullet. Yeah, he's just like, he's funny. I enjoy him.
Yeah, I can't believe that he just really started off from fucking Road Rules.
Yeah.
I remember the season and everything. That was the one that the chick Kit was on. Kit was her name. I remember that. She was a brown-haired chick, short hair, kind of shoulder length. That wasn't the season with CJ though. Do you remember those shows? I
wasn't really a Road Rules. I was more of a Real World.
Yeah.
Where people stop being polite and start getting real. Except for after you do one, people know what to expect, so it's not really real.
Who was your favorite real world character?
um, I enjoyed Puck.
Yes.
He was just kind of just a shithead.
Yeah. Complete shitbag. Gross, disgusting.
Riding his bike, smelling.
Yeah.
He looked like he smelled bad.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
He'd always just start shit with people.
Yeah. Always hating on the gay guy with AIDS, Pedro. Yeah.
I think that they would do that shit on purpose. Like they would find two opposite ends of the spectrum and let's put them in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
What is it? Though I think it was the year before that when they had the dude John. He was like the country guy.
Yes, from Kentucky.
Yeah, and he was like a fish out of fucking water in that house.
Yeah.
Just like
Was it the same season, bro?
Mm-mm.
I thought it was San Francisco that he was on. Which one was he on?
He was San Francisco, yeah.
Okay.
I thought, yeah, or no, he was maybe L.A.
We gotta look this up. Hold on.
The first one was New York, right? And then season 2 might have been L.A.
The first one was New York.
Right.
I thought Puck was on season 1 though, and I thought that they were in San Francisco, bro.
No, Puck wasn't the first one. Puck was like third.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. Because I thought that Pedro was one of the first ones. Let's see here. New York. Season 1 was New York.
And then Los Angeles.
Season 2. Season 2, David Puck. Evicted.
Season 2?
Yeah.
I could have sworn 2 is the country guy and the comedian guy. Yeah, that's season 2, Los Angeles. And there was a big thing because he tore that chick's bath towel off, and it was a big what to do in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then San Francisco was season 3, and that's the one with Puck and Pedro and all those peeps. Pedro, Puck, Rachel, Corey, Pam. And then they went over the sea to London.
Yeah.
And then I kind of lost interest after that.
Yeah.
I think maybe, that was what, 1995, so we were in high school by then, or about to start high school. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. After that, I just kind of lost interest. I do remember one of my old high school buddies did an audition tape for The Real World. And
you gonna name names?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
It was Zach Dixon. Remember him?
No.
He was one of Holly's friends.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember him.
But he was just like, oh no, just sitting. It was just weird. Auditioning to be on TV. I mean, you're gonna you got to make yourself. You either have to be crazy, or you have to have something that they know, oh, if we put him in this environment, we can either manipulate it, or we can, he'll cause trouble, or, whatever. I don't know.
What do you think about Teen Mom? Have you watched this?
No, I mean I've heard
occasionally you
stumble across adjacent, yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, why would you put that on TV?
I've got a problem. I've got a Teen Mom problem. I will say that I do have an issue with Teen Mom. I have. It's past recreational drug use for Teen Mom for me. It's a problem. I will actively partake in the Teen Mom.
Really? What is it that's so appealing?
It's not that it's appealing. It's just that I get hooked and sucked into it, and I see that these women have all of these negative things, and they're acting a certain type of way, and they're treating these dudes a certain type of way, and the guys aren't like responding the way that they're trying to, and I'm just like, you idiot! Maybe if you didn't do that, the father would be around, or da da da. You know what I mean? And then the girl's like sleeping with all these different fucking dudes, and it's just a train wreck.
We like a train wreck.
It's a train wreck.
Yeah.
And I just like, oh my God, how could you be so fucking oblivious and treat another human being that way, and then at the same time be like, oh, I just want them. I just want to be. I don't want them to be in my life. And then like, it's like, what the fuck? Why would you be sleeping with this fucking buddy type shit?
Mm-hmm.
Trashy, and the fact that MTV made these girls, some of these girls, millionaires, for, you know, getting knocked up at a young age. Is that really something that needs to be rewarded? I don't know.
No,
like, is it worth making a 14-year-old person, a girl who had sex and had a child, is it really worth making them a millionaire for? No. I think it brings it more into like normalcy, and that's the way that society is, and I don't think that's healthy behavior.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I agree.
That spawns a child that is born out of like, I get children are born out of wedlock. I have a child born out of wedlock.
I'm one.
He's raised, like it's a different situation though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we're bringing a child into the world with a 14-year-old girl with a 15-year-old boy that have no knowledge of relationships and obviously are just boning each other because they can,
mm-hmm.
that it's just putting the child in a bad situation from the get-go.
Or do you think that's mostly driven by the kid themselves to be on the show, or is it the parents?
I can't say. I couldn't pick a side either way. I'm sure it's both.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's both. I do know that, are you familiar with the teen mom, Janelle Evans? She's the one that was she actually lost custody of her son to her mother, Barbara. And she had like a huge drug problem. She lost her kid. She was with Kiefer. Does that name sound familiar? No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I know that like Barbara, she makes a fucking killing on the show. She's contractually obligated for MTV. She is getting paid to be on the show. And that's I don't know. I just think it's rewarding unhealthy behavior.
Well, and then so speaking of that, then you go into the world of celebrity rehab, or the Surreal House, where they take a bunch of washed up actors and actresses and they put them in the same house, and then you're documenting someone going through rehab with Dr. Drew, and it's just like, do we really need to partake in this? Like,
that's probably what killed China.
Probably. I mean, it's what killed Danny Zuko. Hey.
I don't know. They're just rewarding bad behavior, and they're putting it on TV because they know idiots like me are going to get sucked into it and be like, oh, let's watch this fucking train wreck.
I got to get home and watch my programs.
Yeah, my shows is on.
I got to go. It's Thursday at 8.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, but how much of that is kind of the same reason we got into wrestling? The drama, the storylines.
No, I don't know. You're not gonna win me over that way.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Wrestling, okay, Ryan. Wrestling is the male version of fucking soap operas.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandma or whatever, your mom or your great grandma, whenever you were a child, every
telenovelas.
Day. Yep, the novellas or the do, the fucking
The Young and the Restless.
Young and the Restless. right after fucking Price is Right, you're fucking locked up for about 2 hours. Fuck, when's Montel coming on?
Yeah, dude. Whenever I was sick at home, dude, I would just sit. I think in 6th grade, I spent the whole summer sitting there watching stories with her and just being like, "That Richard's a real dickhead."
That's what wrestling is for men.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's a detachment from reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not reality TV.
But weren't you happy when Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man got married after they were separated for a little bit?
Melted my heart.
And he was managed by Scary Sherry.
That was a bad matchup for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry was dog shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the whole Macho King, that's the only reason he was able to stick around, because he wasn't the Macho King anymore. Logistics, semantics, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's speaking of dog shit, let's go on into, it's not so much dog shit, but let's go into the close call of the week.
I'm shitting my pants, literally. Did you hear that?
So I'm going to just be pulling some stories, because I haven't really gotten much feedback from people wanting to openly share their shit stories with me. So luckily I found a BuzzFeed, and it's got some stories. This one today, we're going to go over the student's nightmare. This person says, I was in middle school. I was in the middle of an exam at school, and when my stomach hollowed out, I bolted to the bathroom and made it to the toilet just in time to let a majority flow out, except for one hard bit at the end. No matter how hard I pushed, this little poop nugget wouldn't come out. I wiped anyway. I accidentally smeared the poop everywhere. All over my hand, the waistband of my pants, the hem of my shirt. It took half a roll of toilet paper to clean off my ass and clothes the best that I could. Then I had to wash my hands when the teacher walked in to check on me. I had just scraped poo from underneath my fingernails with my pencil into the sink.
You want me to give you a shit story?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay, so this was probably the worst shit I ever took in my entire fucking life. I'm an old guy now. What, I'm 40?
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of shitting that's happened in my life. And this one by far was the one that will stay on. Okay.
This is the Mount Rushmore.
This is the Mount Rushmore. I had a book where I started and I marked it, and I was going to celebrate this day every day or every year on this day, like to celebrate the event. But I lost the book in my shit in prison. Okay. So I had been shipped from Williamson County to the state penitentiary. So I had been on holiday, and that is just outside of Houston, Texas. Okay. And then the diet is different. So they feed you like, high protein, everything's different. Right. So your body goes through this transitional thing.
They pork you to death, right?
Right. Well, I was on the holiday unit for about 55 days, which is a diagnostics unit to where they classify you and then they decide where they're going to ship you inside of the prison system. Okay. Well, they ended up shipping me off into the southeast corner of Texas into Jasper, which is right on the border of Louisiana in the swamps. So I had just landed on Jasper, and my body, I was already going through this stress phase, because of the situation. I landed on Jasper. It happened to be the day that my mother came and visited me for the first time. Like, I hadn't seen my mother in ages. But she drove from Gerald, Texas to Jasper, Texas on the first Sunday that I was able to get visitation.
Mhm.
She then purchased like Cokes, Dr. Peppers, M&Ms, candy, all this shit, you know what I mean? Because I don't ever get that stuff. And we sat there for about, several hours. And it got to a point where I was like, oh my God, I've ingested so much sugar that I think that right now in this visitation space that I'm about to like shit everywhere. I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry to cut this visit short, but like, I've got to go. So I made it back and I ended up shitting. And mind you, I had not shit in, I think at that point in time, it was 15 days. I hadn't shit for 15 days, Ryan.
Wow.
Right. I shit a turd that I'm telling you that was over like 14 inches long and just hard. It felt like I passed a rock. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I wipe my ass. I go to flush and do all of these things, right? Well, this turd is so large and so heavy that it will not flush. And understand that these toilets in prison, they have that whoosh, like they'll suck your asshole out of your butt if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like a straight Viking ship, like beached and like curly. It looked like a cobra was coming up out of the fucking toilet hole to strike somebody, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is embarrassing, right? And like, I'm like, holy fuck, like this thing will not flush. I tried to flush this thing for like 5 fucking minutes. Right?
It's a Viking ship trying to get taken down by the whirlpool of Valhalla.
Right. Like, it was like a statue should be made in this turd's honor. Like, that's how serious it was. Well, I just fucking throw like a piece of clothing that was like, it goes back to the state or whatever. I threw it over the toilet like a fucking birthday surprise that somebody could go and pull it off the toilet, and then they see this fucking turd because it wouldn't flush. Somebody somewhere got that turd down that toilet. I don't know how they did it, but they deserve a fucking thank you card or a medal of honor.
So is this like this wasn't in your cell?
No, it was when I was in a dorm situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't ever hear anybody just go, "What the fuck?"
Dude, I was waiting because like where I stayed at in that dorm was really close to the bathroom. And I remember like at night they call like rack up time or whatever. Then like they have all these people that come in and clean or whatever. I was like waiting that night because I remember watching them and somebody pulled off that thing. They like didn't say anything out loud or whatever, but like the next day it was gone.
They just, "Ay, Dios mío." Crossing themselves, making shit. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Spiritus Sanctus, Filhos de Santos. Oh.
Let the poopy ones!
That's great. Rock hard king cobra pooped.
So I single-handedly know that I probably fucking damaged the sewage system in Jasper, Texas. So hopefully they don't send me a bill.
Good for you. Way to stick it to the man. just right up there. 15 days. That's holy
Ryan,
shit.
The
dude.
length of this thing, like this thing went all the way down the fucking hole in the toilet and then was like beached and hanging up above the water and solid. I'm lucky it didn't like push me off of the toilet that situation.
It's a fucked up pole vault situation. Over the bar. Yeah.
It was a world record for sure. And it was like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. Like nobody knew it was me, but deep down inside, like I died a little bit that day.
You knew down in your
I knew.
heart. Oh man.
I have some illusion in my mind, like, yeah, I'm too high class to be in the Texas penitentiary system. Look at me, and then I shit like that. No, I deserve to be there. I deserved everything.
And that thing went down into the sewers and it created its own life. And
Yes,
it has
mutated it, turned into the Swamp Thing in Jasper, Texas.
You got to be careful when you go into public restrooms.
Yeah.
It's like it's a new folklore, like a La Llorona or something like that. It's the poop monster of Jasper, Texas.
Right, it looked like a striking cobra.
the shit cobra. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
That's our close call of the week.
I'm shitting my pants, literally. Did you hear that?
See, 15 days. That's astonishing.
Yeah.
Astonishing.
Yeah, I was in some pain.
Yeah, usually if it's stress induced, it's the other one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's don't go
I'm
chasing
surprised
waterfalls.
I didn't tear my asshole or something like that and have to go to the hospital, dude. Put an extra stitch in that bad boy.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah.
That's some scary stuff, man. Speaking of scary, was there any moments that you were a part of that you were fearful for yourself or the safety? I mean, like give me a good one. I know we've moved away from the phone in the square, but it's always scary moments. Either you were involved in or witnessed.
Oh, excuse me.
That was a good one.
I think there's a few scary things that happen. I think that, like, looking back on the whole thing, the thing that gives me, like, my emotions, like, it'll get me going, is the courtroom. The courtroom was by far one of the hardest moments for me. I think that whenever you hear like on sentencing, when they sentence you or they're going like, okay, I played chicken. I did the most. Like, I took it all the way to trial day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were numbering off the jury and they're like, we're running your case today. Like, you know that it's coming to an end today. And hearing the state of Texas versus Christopher Haley, like that was probably the scariest thing for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
When I landed in Jasper, it was kind of scary because of like gangs and things like that. That was really your real intro into that scene. I mean, I was involved in situations around gangs and things like that while I was in that were definitely sketchy, but I wasn't like really scared.
Mm-hmm.
It was things to where you had to make a choice and you're like, well, I know that this is a bad decision, but I really don't have a choice here. I'm just going to run with everybody else on this type of situation. Those things happened. And I mean, it happened more than once. I mean, I've been on, in Jasper, I was out in the middle of winter, in nothing but underwear and boxers outside on a basketball court due to like a situation that had happened. For hours in just underwear. And we're talking about from like 3-4 in the morning until like 10 in the morning type situation. I saw a lot of fights. Yeah. But that doesn't really affect me either way. I know that in Cleveland, I was in a situation to where it was kind of scary, and it was my cellie in Cleveland was black, Jeremy Ross, and I got into a situation with another black inmate, and it was one of those things to where it can trend in that direction of turning into like a a race oriented type situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me realize how close me and my celly were, because my celly, like, he's dark. He's dark. I mean, he's a black boy. You know what I mean? Like, he's solid black. He fucking talks that game. He'll run with them, and he fucking, he does what he's got. It is what it is. But he actually chose a side in that situation, and he like went against what the norm is. He's like, no, fuck that. My celly's right. I'm gonna ride. And really, like, kind of won over most of the other people of color in my pod behind me on that situation. And I mean, those kind of things can spin out of control and snowball, and you could be looking at a riot situation very quickly behind those type of things. So that was scary, but what about you? What's the scariest thing that you've ever had to deal with, Ryan?
The scariest thing I've had to deal with.
Scary movie late at night.
No, I don't watch scary movies because I'm too much of a chicken shit to watch scary movies.
Think about it. There's got to be something that's like, you know what? I was really fucking. It fucked me up.
You got the pulse going, the adrenaline pumping.
Yeah.
Having our house broken into. That was pretty weird. It was more of a violation feeling than anything else. That someone was perusing through our stuff, and it was like when Patricia was like 7 months pregnant with Ez, and we had all the baby stuff in the room, and she discovered it, that it had happened, and I think she walked in on it while it was happening, and I got that phone call while I was at work, and I was still at least 20 minutes away, and like just the thoughts running through my head while I'm like driving as fast as I can to get home. Just a feeling of like absolute helplessness.
That's scary.
Yeah, to be.
I know this much. I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
But just coincidentally, Jennifer brought up a situation like that. We were watching something on TV. Yeah, we were watching. Samantha is on this show called Frogging. Have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
It's apparently a trend where people like squatters or other like weirdos, like they'll just like move into your house in like a crawl space or an attic, and they'll be living there, and you like don't even fucking know.
I've seen some stuff about that. Yeah, where
Right.
like
So,
someone kept hearing a noise in their attic, and and they couldn't figure it out, and then they put cameras up, and they.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Sam was and her mama were watching this, and they were telling me about this. So like I found it here at the house, and me and Jim like, let's check this out. And I wish a motherfucker would break into my house. Like, Jen said, oh, that would not be a good day for them if you found out somebody was living in or broke into our house. I'd be like, yeah, that's a get out of jail free card. Like I'd kill a motherfucker if I walked in and there was somebody else.
Yeah, and I mean,
I couldn't imagine.
Like that. I think it was a Chappelle. It was a story that Dave Chappelle shared when he moved out in Ohio. Like people would just walk on his property, and he went to the local, I think, Walmart to get a gun, and the guy sold him a shotgun. And that's where I learned you do bird, buck, bird, buck, buck, buck. And I think that's that would be the route I went, because no one wants to hear the
right
in the dark, right? But I've also heard like crazy shit, like someone breaking into someone's house, getting injured, and then suing the owner of the house. Like they fell through a skylight, and they sued the people that own the house. Like shit like that.
That don't make no goddamn sense.
It doesn't. But it's happened. It's crazy.
I guess you can sue for anything nowadays. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Mm.
yeah, to
If
find
they're dead, they can't sue, Ryan.
that's true.
Mm.
It is true.
Yeah.
But like I'm a mild mannered person, but
Yeah.
if you attempt to violate my safe space or mess with someone in my friend circle, my family circle, I don't tolerate that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's probably the scariest moment of just feeling like I wasn't there. I should have been there, but
So was this individual that did this, was he caught or apprehended? No, he just got away.
no idea.
Okay.
Although there's like a full handprint dusted on
Yeah.
the window type of thing.
Yeah.
We think it was probably just a tweaker coming in, doing a snatch and grab of whatever they could to carry down the street to the
Right.
pawn shop.
Right.
Went after the jewelry that appeared of value but truly wasn't. Um, you know, and I think like another fear was like my dogs are in crates, just like they're vulnerable
Mhm.
in a situation like that. Like a psychotic person could have murdered them
Yeah.
if they wanted to.
Ooh, that would. Ooh.
Yeah, John Wick that shit.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine if somebody came into my house and hurt my damn dogs.
Mhm.
Bitch, we got $10,000 of dogs in this fucking house. We about to kill somebody. I'd catch a motherfucker. I'd tie him up. This is what I do. I'd tie him up to a chair, Ryan, and put him in the backyard. I'd dip their feet in salt water, and I'd bring a goat from Lampasas, Texas. Then I'd kick the chair over, and I'd let the goat just lick their feet for hours and hours and hours and hours until it licked it all the way down to the bone.
Oh yeah, they feed them to the pigs.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lampasas, do you have a Lampasas or Lulin for us this week?
I sure do. Let me go ahead and open up the article. Hold on one second.
While you do that, I'm just going to remind the people listening at home, I'm 3 for 3.
Okay.
Right?
Hit the music.
Hit the music. All right, let's do this here. Hold on one second. Here we go. Where are they going? Let's do the dual.
Crackheads and debutantes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Texas man finds his puppy hanged in tree. Police investigate. It was pretty mortifying to see an 8-week-old puppy hanging from a tree that didn't do nothing to nobody.
Is that what the article says?
Yeah, this is the lead-in sentence.
Ain't did nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
Lulin.
Is that what you're picking?
Just on grammar alone.
All right. Now this is an old article, but
I'm gonna finish your story. Yes.
Okay. Cole Gilmore mourned the loss of his 8-week-old puppy, Sue, and continues to come to grips with the heinous crime. He came home from work on Monday to find 3 of his dogs loose in the yard. The dog was taken off their chain, and his new puppy was hanging by a nylon string from a tree. Gilmore picked up Sue in Oklahoma merely a couple of weeks prior. He said the other dogs were sitting and looking at the puppy. He took Sue down from the tree and buried him in the pasture. Sue was named after the Johnny Cash song, A Boy Named Sue. He was a Catahoula black mouth cur mix. Honestly, he says, I just broke down and cried for a minute. It was pretty mortifying to see an 8-week-old puppy hanging from a tree that didn't do nothing to nobody. He's only been around a little while, but you got a pack of hunting dogs. They're a team. They're a family. It's like losing one of their own. There's a cash reward being offered for anyone with information that would lead to an arrest, Ryan. So you might hit a lick if you know who did this.
Mm-hmm.
And you picked Lulin?
Well, originally I thought that it wasn't a direct quote I thought that's what they wrote.
It was a quote.
It was a direct quote. What was the gentleman's name?
Cole Gilmore. Sound like a cowboy.
Mm-hmm. And the dog was a boy named Sue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pasture. Okay. I'm gonna switch it to Lampasas.
You motherfucker. You got lucky. It is Lampasas, Texas. You are 4 for
4 for 4.
I feel like you sweet dicked me.
How? I got a 50-50 shot here. It's a true or false test.
You hit the Lulin on me, and I was like, oh, got him. I read the article, then you changed it up on me.
Well, if I was going
Win's
off.
a win. You got it. You got it.
I did. I deduced. I took a big deduce. So there we go. 4 for 4.
Wow.
Lampasas are Llewellyn so far undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
My name
Those are
is.
some numbers you're running right now.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Not too shabby. Could have been 75, but I pulled it out.
Win's a win.
Hey, we need to come up with a Lampasas or Llewellyn title belt.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
We should.
And it wouldn't be fair because I just have it. Because I'm the only one playing here.
Oh, that's a good idea, though. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
Maybe we could figure out a way to tag team of some way. Like maybe I do a Lampasas or Llewellyn, and then we'll see if you get some going.
Yeah, we'll wait till you get to Texas for that.
Yeah. Speaking of old wrestling and Cole Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls.
That's a hillbilly name, isn't it?
Dude, I just came around my trailer, saw my dog hanging from a nylon string.
Didn't do nothing to nobody.
Never did nothing to nobody. Never did. He's a little puppy. And to be honest with you, I cried a little bit. Didn't cry when my dad passed away.
Cried
when that dog died.
Yep. Sad.
R.I.P. Sue.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Deuces up. Rest in power. We need R.I.P. Sue shirts made. Is what we need.
We do. Like, we just have a shirt per episode.
How many? 10 of them. $32.50. What a price point. That's a
man. That's a steal. What is it?
Limited run.
Is this a flea market? Yeah. So speaking of like a tag team championship, if you had you had the opportunity to make your dream tag team, who would it be? And listen, you can pick anybody from any era, living or dead. It could be someone from now with someone from the 80s, and you put them together, and you got magic. Pair anybody with Marty Jannetty.
Wow. Don't do it. It's double cross. He'll double cross you.
Get double crossed. So while you think about that, I'm gonna also do a little thinking.
Okay.
Because I might have an answer too. Remember, you can go for a power team, like the Legion of Doom, where it's just muscle, and the Steiner Brothers, where it's just they overrun everybody. You could do more of a goofy thing, like the Bushwhackers.
Okay. So we can go for comedic value.
Yeah. Throw that in there. Right. Put a luchador with a big guy.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster.
Okay. For comedic purposes,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say Dusty Rhodes for his promo ability.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would probably go with Nature Boy. I know that they battled each other in AWA, but I'd probably put them two together just for the promo capability. I think those promos would stand the test of time. That they'd be talking about those promos 100 years from now.
Oh yeah.
Um,
But it would there be a battle for the mic between the
absolutely,
two of them?
absolutely, that would add to the value.
No, listen here, Rick.
Oh gosh.
I was trying to do that thing, that video you posted on Facebook where he's like chewing gum, but he's like
Yes.
sucking in his bottom lip somehow. I couldn't do that. Like, I can't.
I didn't respect the man enough, Ryan. The man is 40 years ago, still has solid gold in his arsenal from his promos, bro. That shit's the
So
guy.
we were too young. We didn't value that type
No.
of stuff. We wanted the flashy. We wanted the wow me, give me the Hulk Hogan, give me the Hulkamaniacs, give me the Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm. I also think that maybe like New Jack and Jeff Hardy would be a good combo because they'd probably be smoking crack in the corner during the matches. That might be humorous to see also.
New Jack. That's an odd pairing for sure.
Yeah.
An ECW guy. I mean, I guess maybe Jeff Hardy did some ECW work.
One guy's smoking crack, the other dude's methed out of his fucking mind. They'd probably be jumping off the top of stadiums and shit by the time they were done.
Or throwing people off of. Remember that whole debacle with New Jack?
Yeah.
He chunked that dude off the thing to almost killed him.
Yeah.
Then he gashed that one kid in the head, and the kid was 17.
Yep. The fat youngster.
Mm-hmm.
Mass transit. Boom.
Boom.
Mass transit. Boom, roasted.
Boom. You got it. Damn. Tag team. Let's see. I've always liked the like a powered guy with the juxtaposition of like a speed, like someone agile. Be like putting you know what? It would be dope to see like a Great Muda with like a. I'm never a fan of Prince Albert, but someone of that stature, that size.
Taz.
He's not big enough.
Okay.
Taz is kind of my size. Like, isn't he short? He's like 5'8", 5'7".
He big motherfucker.
Well, he's big.
He's tall, but he's big.
Yeah. He's built like a bulldog.
Yeah.
But who, like, maybe if Great Muda and Sting teamed up, I don't really know who would be a good complement to Muda.
Do you favor early 90s Sting or the Crow version of Sting? I know that Sting is like your guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's your childhood favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Which version do you prefer?
I think the Crow, just because it was more unpredictable.
Okay.
You didn't know when or where he'd show up. You don't know how he'd show up. Like, even now in AEW, he still kind of does that a little bit. I think there's been a couple times where there's someone in the crowd wearing a Sting mask, and some guy flips the mask off and like turns around. It's actually him still wearing his own mask. Stuff like that. In the 8th grade, I loved that movie. It was my jam. Can't rain all the time. My feelings.
I thought it was a cool concept. I think he emulated too much.
Yeah, he
But
got
it's
that.
cool.
He got that idea from Scott Hall.
Yes. There's been so many documentaries that I've seen that in to where they're like, Scott told me in the back that I should da 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 da. Da. It's like, dang, and I go to another one. It's like, yeah, I told him da 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 da. Like, god damn, like they're giving the exact same play by play. It's pretty ironic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Booker T claims that he's the one that came up with the if you smell what the book is cooking? Have you heard this?
Mm-mm.
He says that The Rock, the lot of that persona that he got on the mic and shit was shit that he was saying in the back in the locker room in like combos and shit that he went to the ring and he was like stealing his fucking material and shit. That's not cool.
I guess we're gonna just have to wait until that episode comes out on Young Rock.
Have
Is
you
that
been
what it's
watching?
called? No.
Yeah, I haven't either. I have it on my list on Hulu, but I haven't even started.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
Just because it's so weird. Like, that's not that person. Why is there someone acting to be Hunter Hearst Helmsley that does not look like him at all? Or
Yeah, and I've heard people say that they had somebody played Shawn Michaels, and it was like, what the fuck? Who is? Yeah, no
totally
resemblance
not. Yeah, totally not
no.
the same. But I don't know. Like that, I feel like my tag team. I don't know what it would be called, but I've always been a fan of Muda. Spitting that mist in people's face.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
People still do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Oh, I don't know. I have a soft spot for like that late 80s to mid 90s wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe put like a Coco Beware in with a Junkyard Dog.
Ooh. That damn bird. I bet you that bird seen some shit.
Frankie. He's probably still alive. Frankie number 2. Isn't that crazy that people can have a macaw and those things live to like 60 years old? And so, like, if I got one, I'd have to put it in my will, like, to have it sent to someone else. I bequeath my bird upon you, Christopher. If anything ever happens to me, promise me you take care of my bird.
I'll let that bird out the window.
How dare you? His wings are clipped. You just signed his death sentence.
Yeah. I couldn't take care of no damn bird, Ryan.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not no offense to birds, but the tweeting and the almost constant noise.
Yeah.
It's just like
the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Bird people are funny people.
Mm-hmm. Just throw a fucking blanket over the cage. They'll think it's night.
What if you do that to people?
Dude, I'd love that. If as is getting out of hand, just throw a blanket.
He's good.
He'll be fine. We'll wake him up here in a little bit. If it's just that easy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. That's all I got too. Hey, man, I want to say to our sponsors, thank you. I've done a shit job of shouting you guys out in the first 3 episodes. Yeah. So let me go ahead and get it in here. First off, we got Delta 8 Dudes, delta8dudes.com. Get your Delta 8 needs satisfied in the smokable, edible situations that they got going on over there. And they'll make your butthole hot. If your butthole's too hot, go ahead and rinse that mofo off with a little bit of the Bougie Booty. BougieBooty.com. I don't know if that's the website, but hey, do you want your booty to smell like lavender and have the freshness of a spring, mountain spring? I don't know. You want a clean butthole. You don't want shitty underwear. If you want shitty underwear, go to Streaks.com. Get
clean
yourself
buttholes are hot, happy buttholes, Ryan.
Keep your buttholes happy. # happy holes. Happy holes. I can like happy life, happy wife. I couldn't come up with something. I'm not on my
happy holes, big time goals.
big time goals. Speaking of big time, head on over to Los Lonely Fan, where you can see probably larger than average, less attractive people starting out in the buff. You pay them money, they put their clothes on, and they'll do it right quick. Yeah. Speaking of right quick, get yourself a tweaker. Go on to tweakertask.com. They'll help you with anything. I probably could use a couple around here. Go ahead and do some painting, do some yard work in the backyard. Well, as long as they're done by the time we list, we'll be good to go. Granted, I'll probably have to go patch up any holes that they make, retouch up any paint that they do. But hey, get yourself a tweaker today. Well, that's all we got. This has been episode number 4 of Through Thick and Slim. I am Ryan. I am Thicc.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
And that's my homie, Slim.
My name is Slim Sadie.
And we're out.
Peace.
Have a good one.